I had this friend that had a real bad heroin addiction, and he fooled everyone. You would swear up and down he was getting clean. You believed him when he would say that, you know, he needs a couple of dollars because he's trying to get this job. He's got to go on interviews, and don't believe the rumors that he got arrested for selling drugs, using drugs, or found drugs on him. And I went out there and met up with him a couple of times, tried helping him, even tried getting him a job working with me because I believed he was clean. And I just thought that he needed a job to take his mind off of using. So one weekend, I took him with me to the NASCAR Pocono races, and he was so doped up, barely acknowledged anybody's existence because he was passed out just the entire time. Laying on lawn chairs. When we closed up the lawn chairs and went into the races, he would be laying on like the floors, or he'd say he'd go to the bathroom, sit down against the wall, and just kind of like pass out. We'd have to hump him into the car, drag him back to the hotel, where we didn't see him for the rest of the night. He locked himself in the bathroom, and and that was it. We tried to get him help. He went away for a little while, got some help. Upstate, obviously, the courts took that into their hands and put him in a facility upstate for detox. Then he came back. He was clean again. Everyone believed him. Within 24 hours, he was back to using. And then the law caught up with him again, locked him up, put him in detox, put him in prison, and for a year and 8 months or something like that, a good amount of time. And I went and visited him in the prison, and he seemed like he really got his life together. He was working out, working at the prison, serving food and stuff in the cafeteria, and I sent a couple of care packages, car magazines and stuff like that to keep his mind occupied. It's what he asked for. And he came out, we were clean, we went out with a group of friends. Again, there was no drugs involved there, but he was already on drugs. And everyone knew it. And now, again, I tried texting him earlier today to see if he would come and do an interview with you, because he's a current struggling addict, and he hasn't even gotten back to me. And I really don't expect to hear back from him till he probably wakes up 4 a.m. You really just don't know. Some people can convince themselves so good that everyone around them believes them. And I want to help, but sometimes trusting enables the addiction. And that's what they feed off of. So they'll constantly get $10 out of you, $20 out of you, more, or rides places to go pick stuff up, and you'll never know. When I was younger, I had my friend's little brother had a heroin problem. And when he couldn't find heroin, he would find other things to use. Rat poison, crushed up rat poison, put it in like a drink just to get himself off. You know what I mean? Like, weird stuff. And there was this night that I ran into him, and he said, "I got a problem. This is what's going on." And I did very minimal to help. I was like, "Well, you need to get help." I told his sister, I was like, you know what, this is what's going on. Just, he needs to get help. And within about 2 months, he was found OD'd in his bedroom with a needle in his arm. And ever since then, any person that asks for help, if you can't help them, because again, I can't do what professionals can do. And again, it's just, sometimes you enable them, by comforting them and entertaining the idea that they're going to get better, and it just doesn't work. So ever since that incident, whenever I see something, I have tried to help, and in other situations, I've been able to do what I can, and it's helped for a while. It's helped a few people. Some people you help and they still, end up taking their own life or get themselves into other trouble. But at least you can say that you tried to the best that you could. And the one thing I did take from that is that, listen. Definitely listen. If someone reaches out, it might be for an instant where they are themselves, when they have a little gap between who they are when they're an addict and when they have that moment of clarity where they're just like, I gotta get out of this. I know. There's help out there. There's tons of help. So I have these friends. Also, there's two brothers, and one of their other friends were in the car, and one of the brother's girlfriends who were driving on Northern State Parkway. Totally drunk. Ended up wrecking. And it took them 4 days to identify how many bodies were in the car from the wreckage. And you could see this coming a mile away. Constantly drinking, doesn't care, disrespect for other people on the road when they're driving. He just knew that they were going to hurt themselves or somebody else or both. And that was pretty terrible. I was a child. I was 17 when it happened. The youngest brother that I knew was 17 also. He was with his older brother and his older brother's friend, his girlfriend. So going to a whole bunch of closed casket funerals, poor decisions. That's pretty crazy. Give you a number, I would say at least 12. Then that's also between, out of overdoses, I would say a solid 8. Addiction related, I would say probably the other 4 or so. Whether it's alcohol or it could just be, like speed, coke, stuff like that, meth. Is it worth it? I don't think so.